All right, my friends, if I hit all the right buttons, we are live again for another episode of our Talk Barbie I Fridays. You know, this is near the top of my favorite days. Thursdays I hang out with my students, so that's kind of special too. But this is really close, really close. So I'm so glad to be here today with you. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel and you haven't subscribed, why not? Do subscribe. That way you're going to be notified whenever I go live, whenever I post new updates. All right, so I'm going to check in. We have Brian and Steve on the phone with me today from our Learn Power BI family. Steve, always good to see you here. So Steve, as always, is our moderator. He's going to be looking at the chat window in case I get carried away. Sometimes I do that. I speak on for Power BI. It gets me excited. What can I say? Steve's going to keep an eye on things and bring it to my attention if it's something interesting or if I miss something. So Steve, big thanks for that. Let's see who is on YouTube, my friends. Type in, tell me, say hello, type in something, tell me where you're calling in from before we kickstart this thing. Who do we have? Michael Stanton says, yay, I put this on my calendar. I'll join every Friday that I can. Yes, I would love that. Syed says hello from New Jersey. Loretta Sue is here from Tampa, Florida. Loretta Sue is also a Learn Power BI member. She's joining us today on YouTube. Students can dial in too. But that's cool. YouTube. Michael Stanton says Santa Fe, New Mexico. Okay, so if you're just hopping on, just type in. Don't be the quiet guy in the corner. David says hello from frozen St. Paul. Yeah, I heard something about extreme cold weather coming in. Heather Rowe is on the phone. Hi Heather, good to have you here. Imrak says hello from Casablanca, Morocco. Ooh, nice. I bet it's not frozen over there. Just guessing. Hello from Paris as usual. Oh, Mohammed, I didn't know you're hanging out there. That's great. Hello from Idaho, says John. Hugo Morris says hi from Santiago de Chile. All right, my friends. Hey, as you file in, do say hi. Hello from Nashville, says Drew. I love that part. So this is what we're going to cover. Now, some of this has been covered in the videos, but you get to witness a little bit more of what goes inside my head as I'm thinking through these problems. So we're going to cover some new content, including one of my arch nemesis. So for those of you who have watched enough of these Talk Power BI shows, you know that I love. Hold on. So, folks on the phone, just mute yourself if you can, and that'll be great. Perfect. So I love embarrassing myself on a regular basis on these Talk Power BI. And there was one, I look back at the date, it was October 12th, where Peter Linden, one of our Learn Power BI students, had goaded, tricked, lured me into this top end scenario where it didn't make sense. I'm like, oh gosh, why isn't it working? Return the topmost customer. And what Peter had come in was he was asking, well, I'm using it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. And I was so sure that I was going to be able to help Peter on that call on October 12th. Ended up with egg on my face. But you know what? That is good. I'm so glad you're able to see that. I stumble and fail all the time. It's not about that, right? So one of my fellow Microsoft MVPs, I wouldn't name any names. Let's just say he's been on my channel. You've seen him. He talked to me about this, how he loves helping others too. That's a common trait amongst MVPs. And how he would go to forums and questions and stuff. And sometimes he would see a question which would make him really think. I'm like, that's a tricky question. And he would think about it for days and then take a few more days to craft a solution. All right? He admitted that to me. And he said then he would pop on the forum and just reply really casually, oh yeah, this old thing, this little thing. Oh yeah, here's how to do it. And that's okay, right? I want to look like an expert in your eyes, but folks, the Talk Power BI live show strips it all away. It's all gone. You see me stumble and fail, and there. I hope you think that there are lessons there. I think there are a lot of lessons there. All right, terrific. Hello to everybody new who joined as well. Mark, Balman Kumar, Ajit, hello. So we're going to start there and then do these really quick because these have been covered in the video. So I'll just say, yep, if you have any questions, do these three actually really quick. But then come back with number 5, which is an interesting problem. Breaking ties can be kind of nasty. So that's in store for today. 5 ways to top end, my friends. 5 ways to top end. And I do have a few announcements. I was prepping for this call. I'm like, wow, really? That's that many announcements that I have. So YouTube Stories is something new and exciting, and I think it's very timely. So it only shows up on my mobile phone. It does not show up for me on my desktop. But on the mobile phone, if you yeah, so the way it shows up for me is just, like different folks I follow, whoever is posting a story. So you might see my name pop up there. Just check it out. I have one story on there now. Just a quick message basically inviting you to my stories, checking out the stories. But it's timely because I'm headed to India. I mean, normally I work from home, so when I tell my son's friends that, oh, I'm a YouTuber, they imagine a very exciting, exotic life. Little do they know, no, I enjoy my life, but yeah, I mean, there's not much to show around. But over in this India trip, hey, I'll be putting on stories, just sharing whatever, wherever I am, whatever's going on in my mind. Hey, if you want to, kind of follow me there, so check out YouTube stories. And if you want more, guys, you're going to get more. Hopefully you're ready for it. So we have a Power BI Pro 2 channel, and I think my mom subscribed, so I have a subscriber there, but we could use some more. And what's the idea behind Power BI Pro 2? Well, it's so I want to be able to do off the cuff videos. Often I see something from my student or my followers, and I just want to do a quick Q&A video. I don't like video edited or anything. It's gonna be raw. Probably not gonna have a bow tie on all the time, and that's okay. That's kind of stuff, right? So casual stuff, but beyond Power BI, but for your Power BI success. Now, what the heck does that mean? So let's talk about that for a second. So I talk about I use these words like data drudgery to data joy, and when I used to do on-site training for companies, I would ask them like, how do you describe yourself? And often they would be very, kind of pejorative terms, not nice, like data jockey. That's one of the nicer ones. Somebody said data janitor, and data janitor. What else? Yeah, I've heard things like this, right? So somebody just down in the basement, just cranking out the wheel. Now, that was my life when I was using Excel. And I've seen a lot of kind of SQL, DBAs, and all that who do the same thing. We're just cranking out the wheel. They're just kind of stuck there doing the same thing and same thing, you know. And doesn't have to be like tool focused. So Pam Baker's story, you've heard her on the channel. I mean, she's made it big time in Volvo now, but she said, "Oh, I was just an accountant for 15 years." Just kind of same old, same old. So now, what do you think? Is Power BI really the answer? Is Power BI what's gonna get you out of there from this data drudgery to data joy? Think again. Do you think there are not people already out there who are stuck in the data dungeon, but using Power BI, who are just creating a lot of Power BI reports? So the trick is Power BI can be empowering, but you can end up in the same spot, and that's what I want to avoid, right? I want to see you achieve big, huge success with it. But what's needed for that is beyond Power BI. Sure, you need to be moderately good in Power BI, right? But there's something else as well. So I just don't want you to learn Power BI, my friends. I want you to be successful. And I've been knocked around in life quite a bit. I've learned lessons the hard way. I want to pass them on to you. So not just Power BI lessons. Sure, there are tons of them. Those we learned the hard way too. You're like, I guess that's not the way to do a merge or something like that. So that's what Power BI Pro 2 is about. A little bit casual, but I'm going to share kind of beyond Power BI. So go ahead. The easiest way to do, you know what? Let me see if I can put in a link over there. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. Imelda, hello there. Good to have you on. Alex, always good to see you, man. So Alex it's not about to sell. How cool is that? So that's probably true. And in that team, so of course there will be some crossover, some overlap in that team, because hey, I'm here to support you. So I'll be in India, but I will still be on Talk Power BI. So December 14th, I'm pretty keen on these topics. We'll see. You guys let me know by showing up. How keen are you on this? So December 14th, I'm saying, hey, how to become a Power BI consultant and how to get a Power BI job. And we'll do some kind of surveys and to get a pulse before that as well. So if you follow me on social media, YouTube community, that sort of stuff, check out for that as well. And again, that is leading up to something bigger that I want to do, bigger than a course, right? So I want to teach something bigger than Power BI because, as I said, I thought Power BI is just one piece of that puzzle. So, my friends, I'll be opening enrollment to my brand new program. Pretty much all I have is a name right now, but I have a feeling about this. So, six-figure Power BI consultant. Again, I want to have bigger impact to you. Now, I would say I struggle with this name a bit because I didn't want it to make it about money. That's not how I have been. That's not how I operate. So I'm like, oh gosh, six figure. Why is it important? Why? I mean, yeah. But what I realize is that money stands in for a lot of things. When I talk to people and I say, hey, what are you interested in? What are your goals and all this stuff? Money often comes up. Hey, my goal is to make more money. I mean, that's one of my goals for sure, right? But then I ask them deeper. So like, okay, cool. Let's see whatever your goal is, financial goal is. Let's say you're earning that, in a year, tomorrow, whatever, right? So you get there. What then? What does that money get you? And that's when they start talking. And those are the answers which really matter, right? I mean, they say I'll get freedom, right? I'll have more time with my family. I'll get to travel more. Some of you you've seen the Reed Havens video. He inspired a lot of people, right? I mean, he's I don't know. He's like in a new continent every time I talk to him. It's crazy, and things like that, right? So it's going to be different for each person. It's going to be different for each person, but the money often stands for that stuff. So the six figure is symbolic. It's not, I mean, literal. I mean, of course, it's going to be literal when you get to that spot. That's great. But I don't want you to forget that it's a means to an end either, right? It's a means to that life. And a good way to stay in check with yourself is, let's say you are marching together towards a six figure or whatever goal you have, maybe higher, maybe seven figure, right? You're marching towards that goal. But if you forget about what that goal lets you do, let's say your answer is, oh, so that I can spend more time with my family. Fair enough. Let me ask you this. Are there people who are earning, whatever your goal is, right? So let's say $1 million a year. Are there people who are earning $1 million a year who don't spend enough time with their family? You see what I'm trying to say, right? Never lose sight of the real goal because you'll achieve this phony, scam of a goal and you would have lost everything, my friend. I don't want that for you. Now, as part of that is my retirement. Yes, my friends, I am retiring. No, I haven't made my millions yet. But I'm retiring from Power BI Consulting. And it was a tough choice. And I remember running into Chandu. Now, those of you who operate in Excel circles would know him. Chandu, he's a god. He's a legend. I should probably get him on my channel someday. And I met him at one of the conferences. And I said, Chandu, man, you're doing great. You're clearly doing awesome. You do so much training. Why don't you do consulting? I mean, you're turning money away. Do you realize that? I mean, who turns money away? It's like people coming to you like, hey, take my money. And you're like, no, I don't do that. And now I know why, right? Because either I can serve people, I can empower them, or I can help a small sliver. I mean, that's consulting. I mean, it's good. I enjoy that, but the number of people I can help are really small. And what I'm also excited about is that since I'm retiring from consulting, that means there's no conflict of interest for me with my students, with serving my students. If I get consulting leads, I'll pass it on to this group happily, because I'm invested in their success. I'm not doing it on my own. All right, so I've talked enough. So you can see a lot going on. I'm excited 2019 is going to be huge, my friend, for you, not for me. I mean, it's going to be huge for me if it's huge for you. So let's kick it off with 5 ways to top end. Ooh, I'm excited. So let's go back to the scenario of egg on my face. Oh my gosh, this was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. So the setup was that there was a tie at the top, and if you see here, uh, there was a tie over here, and I wanted to show that tie. I wanted to show. So I mean, forget about these numbers for once. What is the rank for this? Well, maybe this is 1. Let's try that again. Maybe this is 1. This is tied at 1, and this by default would be 3. If you're using dense ranking, this would be 2. Right, and this would be 2, I guess, as well. So something like that, right? So this is what I expected, but instead I got this. It didn't work. I was scratching my head, and I was red in my face. I mean, I was flushed. I was like, oh yeah, I'm so embarrassed. So let's pick it up from there. This was not even me trying to show you top end. This was the formula that wasn't working. Now, so let's look at the month rank. Now, this was right. This was the right formula. I was pretty convinced. Why can't... there we go. I mean, this is the way to write rank function. You say rank X, you say all, and you say total sales, right? And notice this formula, rank X, all of that. That's the same formula I have in Excel over here. Exactly same data set. And I'm going to show you the formula just so you don't think I'm cray-cray. I'm crazy. You pick up all these lingos. Can I... Sales, month rank, edit measure. Look at this. I'm not crazy. Rank X, all, calendar month, total sales. Exact same formula. Works in Power Pivot, which is also Power BI. It's the same thing, right? But doesn't work in Power BI. Now, the short answer there is that what is at play here is the sort by column. Sort by column. And it comes into play in Power BI, but not in Excel. Kind of weird, really weird, but that's the way it is. I asked Jeffrey Wong, the father of DAX, by the way, if you don't know him. He's written very few articles, but really empowering ones. So Jeffrey Wong explained this to me, and it was all about how these clients talk to each other. So let's pick it up from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, gosh, I'm really tempted to do this instead of month. What do I do? Let's month num. So I'm going to remove the sort by column problem for now. So we're going to remove, oops, no, didn't want that. Oh gosh. So let's remove this and let's do month num. What is it going on? Month num, and no, I don't want to add it up. And let's go back to our month rank, and we'll say month num. Okay, now I should get the result here. Okay, so now we have a tie. So again, the task here for the very first one is we just want to show the topmost customer. Actually, I wanted to build this up. So let's. I'm going to change one small thing. Close your eyes for a second. I'm going to tell you to open your eyes when I'm ready. It will go to sales, and we'll say 500. Gina. All right, you can open your eyes now. Yeah, Alex agrees. Consulting slows you down. So right now, so the task here was simple. Show the topmost, and again, I'm saying customer, but it could be anything. In this case, it's month for me, right? The best month that we had, or month num in this case. I'm keeping things simple. So let's do top, and we can ignore this guy for now. So this is the detail. and then let's do the top month. So we'll say modeling, new measure, and we'll go top month, best month, equals top n, calendar, not that calendar. Oh, n value, sorry. N values give me one, the first one result only. Which table? I think this one is, so what I want is calendar month num. But I can't specify it like that because it expects a table. This is not a table, this is a column, but I can turn that by using values. So top month values calendar month num. Got it. So that's my second. So go to this table, and then by which order? Oh, that's interesting. That is top n order by expression. Got it. So that one is sales, right? Sales, total sales. I don't know what I have in total sales. Let's just go with that. Total sales. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Top, I should have said month num. All right, stop month num, and sweet. So you can see it's telling me that the topmost month is December, and that's right. That's right, right? So again, you can generalize it to anything, customer, product, right? So this is the best, the month with the topmost sales. But this is what Peter was saying, that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So and the scenario, at least one scenario, maybe there are others as well, is it works when there's no tie. Right? Let's try something else. What if we? But it's going to break if there is a tie. So if you go back to my query and just fuzz my really simple data set so that there are ties, then it will break. So let's just go back here, and I'm going to change January to be the same as December. All right, so you can see it breaks in. Now, of course, I was in control of the data, so I was playing with it. How would this show up in a real Power BI scenario? In the real Power BI scenario, what's going to happen is that you're going to have your dashboard, and you're going to be showing your top customer name or top product name, something like that, and you would have your measure defined exactly the way we defined it. Top month num. So you would say something like, give me the top one only. You're telling Power BI, yeah, man, I only need one result. So you think that would be good, and when you test it, it would work. But as people slice and dice, as they say, I only want to see 2018. I only want to see 2000 January. I only want to see folks in US. Whatever's going to happen, it's possible that at some point, some setting, or as you refresh the data, the data would end up with a tie at the top one spot, and then it would suddenly break. Right? So you see how Peter could have felt that, oh, it works sometimes, it doesn't work the other times. Oh, look, it's working, and then I click on a few filters, and shoot, it's not working. So what's happening is, under the hood, it's the ties that's a problem. And if you see the details, I have no idea. Microsoft error messages are kind of hit or miss. Let's see what it says. Not bad. Yeah, so a table of multiple values was supplied where a single value was expected. So measures are always expected to return a single value. If they don't, then it's a problem. By the way, you can try this experiment as well. Let me add month as a slicer, just for fun, and let's do one measure, modeling, new measure, concatenate x. Good. Yep, that's one idea, Alex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say month name equals values calendar month. Right? Let's try that. And Okay, so let's. I'm just gonna have some fun here. So month name, if I put that over here, and so you see April, May, June. It's working, but if I clear the filter, it's gonna break, right? If I select April and May, it's gonna break. So again, there are other scenarios where you can run into this, where in any case, if a measure sometimes it returns a single value, it's gonna work, but if it ends up returning multiple values, it's gonna fail. So yeah, so that's the scenario we have for top n. So let's go back over there. Ignore this values thing. Let's go back and see how can we solve for a tie. So now the question, of course, is, you've heard me say this, is it worth typing in? Human learning comes before machine learning. So first thing we need to answer is, how do humans solve it? And sometimes they're not always a clear answer. Sometimes you decide how you're going to solve it, right? So I don't know. I mean, let's say, so if there is a die, and if I have to only return one option is, I like what Alex said. You can concatenate those two. It's like, oh, there's a tie. There's the multiple values. Both Joe and Sam are the top customers. That's possible. Maybe we'll try that. Oh, that's an interesting one. I hadn't thought about that. But uh, maybe we pick one somewhat randomly. Or, well, you can't. Well, instead of randomly, we'll say we're going to return the most recent, the highest month, or something like that. Let's see how we can do that. So we go month. Where's the top month? Top month. Let's go back to this one. So what if we say that top n? Now I know even though we're saying top n 1, but remember it's not one value. It's saying give me the first rank. And if there's a tie at first rank, you can multiple values. So what if we have multiple values? What if we do? How can we select the first one from there? First non-blank, we can try that. First non-blank for this, and let's try for what expression though? I don't know. Let's see, max calendar month. Let's see if it works. So basically we're saying, yeah, just give me one of those values. I expected 12 to be returned because I'm saying first non-blank by max calendar month min. Will it change? Okay, I'll check into that later. I think I have an idea what's going on, but basically it's selecting, kind of the first value from the list. So that's one option. Let's save it. So V1. Let's try the other one. What Alex suggested. Concatenate X. So Alex, we'll see. I might need some help here. I don't use concatenate X that often. So we go in here, and instead of this, we say concatenate X. Give me a table, and this is the table, top n. And let's see, and the so concatenate X, go through a table and give me, interesting, concatenate X, give me the month nums. So if I say go through that table, I think we can simplify it, and I don't know what a delimiter is. Let's try comma. Ooh, shoot, didn't work. Wasn't happy. V2, V1 is already taken. Let's try. V2. Alright, that seemed to be good. Let's try it out. I'm not really happy with the way we wrote it, but Ah, perfect. So now it's showing us a tie. And again, I'm using month num, but it could be anything. I mean, you could be top customers and so forth. And then, of course, you can get fancier. Like if there's a five-way tie, you don't want to try to show five names. You can say Sam, Joe, comma, dot, 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 or something like that. So you can, kind of get really fancy depending on how likely you are to run that scenario and how effectively you want it to handle, right? So you can say, oh, if the top and if there's a tie for three or more, then do comma dot 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 after the first three and then something like that, or just say multiple values. So that's a good solution. The next three. So let me know what you guys think of that. I had a slight thought. I wanted to write this slightly differently, but I'll hold that for now. I didn't want it to. Well, anyway, we'll live with that. Okay, cool. So that is one. Let's move on to the next one. Got it. Hey, Asif, good to have you here. Let's go on to the next one. So I often let me ask you guys something. So if I want to show my list of top 10 customers, which DAX function would I use? Would I use rankx? Would I use top n? Would I use first non-blank, second non-blank, and so on? Or I can use any of the above. So let me know A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, D. Which option would I use to show a list of top 10 customers? I'll wait for you guys. I'll use that time to open the file that I'm going to show you. Is it this? Nope, not this. Yes. A, rank X, okay. Loretta Sue. Anybody for a different answer? Come on, people. I'm waiting for you. Type it in. A, B, C, D. I should have like a timer clicking. Announce a prize. All right, the file is open. Nope, not open yet. All right, Marcel also thinks it's A. All right, we'll go with that. The file is open now. Yeah, it's A and not A. So sometimes. So this is good. Marcel and gosh, who was the first one? Loretta Sue, of course. They're a step ahead of the crowd. So often when people think top 10, they think of the top n function, and that's not right. Top n function is not really about this. It's not really showing you about that list. Sadik says A. To really show the list of top n, typically you shouldn't be using a function. You should be using the visual filter in Power BI, right? So again, the task was to show me the list of top 10 customers, the ones, their names, right? And for that, you wouldn't use any DAX function. That's unless there are special circumstances, which we might run into in this call. You wouldn't use that for you would not use any DAX. You would just come in here and say this oops, let me move me out of the side. You would just say, hey, customer key, filter type, there's advanced, basic, you're going to choose top n and say, hey, give me the top 10 or whatever you want by sales. So that's the typical approach. Now, what is top n for in that case? Top N gives you metrics. Well, obviously, you've seen the different use of it. You can use it to return the topmost customer, and there are going to be other uses, but typically, the top N gives you metrics on the top 10 or top 50 and so forth. And my favorite approach for this is essentially kind of a top heavy analysis. So how much of a revenue is coming from our top 10 products? How much of our revenue is coming from our top 10 customers? And any other dimension, right? I mean, how much of our sales is being generated by the top 10 of our sales agents, right? I mean, we have maybe 1,000 sales agents, and we just want to understand that top 10 contribute how much? 20%, 50%. So let me ask you folks, what is the right number? How top heavy is too heavy? Like, right? So if I'm a company, AdventureWorks in this case, I'm selling bikes. What number is good or bad? Oh gosh, come on, YouTube. All right, I know there's a little bit of a lag, so I'll wait for you guys. I wish it was more real time. But type in, if you're looking at top heavy analysis and you're working with a company, you're a consultant, or maybe it's you work there, and it's a, hey, look, your top 10 customers contribute X% to your revenue, and this is not a good thing. How would you judge that number, if it's good or bad? So Marcel has a great idea. I love that. I would like to know how to do 80-20. How many customers generate 80% of the revenue? Ooh, love that. Cool. Okay, so you probably are pausing if you're not typing in anything to what I'm asking because yeah, there's no right answer. There is no right answer. I think it starts by first knowing. A lot of companies just wouldn't know, like, oh, no idea, right? So you just start at a number. Just start, hey, it is this right now, and then you break it down across different things. So you say, in this case, I'm looking at what do my top 10 customers bring in, and then I break it down across countries, and this is in pure dollar value. So top 10 customers bring in 99K in France and 67K. But sometimes pure dollar values, it's hard to compare. I mean, United States might just be a big market, or I don't know, France for us might be a big market. Maybe we are based in France, so obviously the dollar number is going to be high. That's not the point. Percentage wise gives you a much better comparison. So you can see here is that, percentage wise also France is like really high revenue, higher compared to the others. So again, high or low now becomes relative, right? And again, this still doesn't mean good or bad. And a lot of times, be careful about that when you're looking at data. The phrase that I heard, and I need to remind myself all the time and over again, is correlation is not causation, right? So just because the counties with the classic joke or example that's used is just because there are more storks in counties which have higher birth rates. So if you can plot them and say, oh, look at that, more storks, more babies, they're correlated, but doesn't mean that the storks are bringing babies, okay? So then you need to ask, well, what is it? I mean, what is it about France that is different? Again, look at everything. And again, I'm not going to go too deep because this is AdventureWorks, a fictitious company, but it's a lot of fun to look at real data and look at this like, I wonder what's going on. And of course, you can dig deeper with Power BI, peel the onion. So you break it down and compare it across these different elements. Like, okay, this one is more top heavy than the other. Why is that so? Well, because of blah, blah, blah. And you look at the data, you do go with your gut instinct. Why not? I mean, and again, you can validate that with your data. And I love seeing this over time. Now, this is a fun exercise, and you need to dig in one level further. So in AdventureWorks, what happened was our top 10 customers were contributing close to 3%, between 3 and 4, and then a shift happened in the middle of the year. You can see this is a marked shift, and then they ended up with 1.5 to 2. Now, it Now, the funny thing is that this can happen because of two reasons. One is you did not serve our top 10 customers well. And that's not a good thing, right? So it could be that. Or the second reason is that we really grew our customer base. So we grew our customer base, top 10 held steady and in dollar values, but percentage wise they shrank. And again, whether that's good or bad, well, you decide for your business. Which direction do you want to grow? Do you want to have a dedicated set of loyal customers, or do you want to just grow? And again, different businesses may go through different phases. So man, there's so much you can tell. Imagine plotting this for a business for over 3 years, 5 years, if it's the company has been around for that time, and it's really insightful. You can tell them like, you guys did something in June, and they would say, oh yeah, this happened. Believe me, I mean, when you're consulting and you start showing them stuff and then telling them like what happened, they go, oh yeah, okay, cool. And of course, if you can tell what happened in the past, you can predict the future. That's the starting point. All right, cool. Let's see. So hey, folks on the phone. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to watch the chat box, but especially Steve, if you see something, let me know. See something, say something. Okay, bad one. All right, great. So we the top-heavy analysis, again, this is covered in one of the recent videos, so I wouldn't go into the details. And of course, the next level of that is to make this n variable. So we've been talking about top n, but I've been showing you top 10, and you don't have to stick with 10. It could be anything, depending on what you're trying to look at. It could be top 5, top 20, top 50, top 100, top 1,000, and so forth. So yeah, that's easy to do. And again, all of that is covered on my channel in the top N playlist, which actually I'm not really sure how to find. Oh, there it is. Top N series. Perfect. So yeah, playlists are a great way, by the way, if you're new to my channel, new to Power BI, all the good stuff is there. The tutorial, first of all, and the ultimate calendar. Cool. So now let's move on. And I want to ask you guys if anybody has had experience with breaking ties. And the scenario was not this guy, but this one. Is this it? Nope, this is not it. Top N. Yeah, there we go. Top N filter. All right, so here, if we go over here, and I think if we click on February, there's a tie over there. So there's a tie, so we end up with 11 customers being shown. How have you dealt with that? 80-20. Boy, that's a good one. I'll wait for that. So my question is, have you dealt with, so here there's a tie at the, all of these are the same value, and yeah, so we end up showing 11. So Marcel is one of those lucky people. She's saying ties haven't happened. Yeah, depending on your data structure, too many values, it just may not happen. But for those who might not be so lucky, have you looked at any solutions? And boy, I loved that idea. 80-20 analysis. I want to make sure I got that right. How many customers generate 80% of my revenue? I would like to explore that in that call. Okay, breaking ties. Well, for one, last time we were talking about this, people were talking about rank X and dense ranking and things like that. Actually, there are a few solutions. So if we go over here to the top 10 over here, let's check February again, right? So February, notice here that this table, the filter, shows 11 because there is a tie, and that total adds up to 27807. But notice my measure is not 27807, so if you take the calculator and we calculate the difference, can you guess how much it's going to be? 27807 minus 25293 is, well, there's some decimal places in there, but yeah, so this one, this guy is for this one, the tie isn't a problem. It's not calculating the top for 11 customers. It's doing the right thing. It's taking the top 10. So let's look at this measure on how I have kind of broken ties over there. So sales top 10. So top 10, you can have a tiebreaker. So let's look at the top N function. Yeah, so you can see you can have multiple expressions. So you can say top N ordered by this. And it's interesting that even the first expression is optional. So then I guess it just gives you based on the original ordering. But you can say order 1, kind of order 2 and so forth. So here I'm using customer key. Well, I mean, it's yeah, I just said use the tiebreaker customer key, so it's gonna drop this Dustin Sharma or whoever has a higher customer key or lower customer key, right? So that's how I solved it for measure. So measures, it's easy to solve it. For this one, it's harder to solve it because so now we're back where we started. When I asked this question, it was kind of a trick question because to do this, you don't use any DAX. You use the visual filter, but we're back where we started. To break the ties, we're going to need the help of rank X. So let's see how it's going to work. So let's see if I have rank defined over here. No, I do not. Okay, cool. I'm just going to define that really quick. So let's say modeling new measure. Ooh, excited. And we'll say customer rank. Customer rank and the standard format rank X. The only thing you have to remember is the all. Often people forget. I forget. I write it without the all, then it doesn't work, and I'm like, oh, okay. So all customer by sales. And this would solve a problem, right? Well, not quite, but we're getting closer. Let's see how the rank is behaving. So it's well, I mean, I'm not sure. Sometimes, so Mona Lisa is saying, how about top 3 and show the rest of the data in others category? Oh, you guys are throwing some interesting stuff at me. Let's tackle those two. So that's a kind of question, right? Yes, I like that. Beautiful. This was a question too. Man, I can't wait to get a Q&A. Okay, so here, sometimes this looks odd to humans. I often represent Power BI, by the way, so I become Power BI's attorney. So Power BI will say, man, this is actually right. A human will say, what are you doing? And, for a human, let me move myself out of the way. They would say, what's going on? I asked you to show kind of top 10 and it's not really top 10 and both of these are 1 and so forth. But Power BI is doing the right thing. So notice what it does. It says 1, 1, and then it skips 2 because there are 2 people ahead of this person, right? There are 2 people ahead of this. So Gloria, we know for sure that, I mean, she's third, right? I mean, she's behind 2 people. That's one way to look at it, right? So that's the default. Now you can change. So last time we were tackling this, people said, oh, use the parameter in rank, which is the third parameter, which you can see is the ties parameter. Now the second one, order, I'm going to skip over that. I'm not going to specify that. Come on. Is it working? Oh, let's try that again. So let's go over here, and I'm going to skip the order. Because the default is good, order is descending, but then for ties, actually let's try this. So we go value table as customer, expression is expression is sales, value I don't want to specify, order I don't want to specify because I want to use the default. Okay, finally ammortize. So here the default is skip, which you already saw in action, 113. But I can say dense and it'll change. Are you ready? So I'm going to zoom out. So 113, notice here 113, and then, but now I said dense, and it's going to look different. So notice now it's dense. It's not kind of skipping. But this still doesn't do anything to solve our ties problem, because I cannot use this to say top 10. So that dense or not dense skip, that is something different. That is just how you like your ranking to work. I mean, do you think Gloria is rank 2 or rank 3 in this scenario? So that's not it. Now, there might be other solutions around it. The one I have found is to use a tiebreaker, kind of like the top end measure. Now, this top end measure is nice because it gave us that tiebreaker. By it says, oh, if the sales is matching, then check something else. I wish rank X did that. It does not. It does not give you that. So we'll manufacture our own. So let's come back over here. And so we're ranking right now by sales. And I'm going to do something new. And I'll say sales V2 tiebreaker. I don't know, something like that. So sales, let's just go to sales V2. So sales V2 is the sales. And then maybe I want to do something like over in the other function, top n, we were using the customer key. So maybe we'll use the customer key as well. So customer key. So take the minimum, and obviously I don't really want to kind of change the sales. So I'm going to make this a really, really small number. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, so that it's not like somebody gets, oh, I only bought $2 worth of stuff, but my customer key is 1,000,001. So the sales measure returns that. No, we just want like a really small decimal place, and that's it. So I think I've put enough zeros. Maybe one too many. And let's add sales V2 over here, and we'll see. Oh gosh, this does need. So what if we say give me 5 decimal places? Oops, did that work? Didn't work yet. 6. Perfect. So you can see how it's. Let's do one more. Well, one more. I think I was too crazy on adding the decimal places. God, please. Almost there. Cool. So we got it. So you can see that earlier the sales was exactly the same, and that's why the customer rank over here, you can't see it yet, but now you can see that these numbers are slightly different. Each one of them is slightly different. So now that we have sales V2, so I'm gonna go back and reduce some zeros here. So I think we can reduce 1, 2, at least 2 zeros. So let's remove 2 zeros, and we can do and go over here, and now customer rank. Let's do another customer rank. And we're going to use the new measure in that case. So customer rank V2. And we don't really need any of that stuff. I mean, that wasn't it. We'll say sales V2. All right, moment of truth. Oh wait, it's not on the display yet. Ready? Here we go. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, so remember these guys were tied at the top. So it selected one. Let's just try it this way. Oops, not that. So let's see how it is looking for us. So this, it broke the tie. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, so it broke the tie in every single case, which is good, which is what we're going for, right? I mean, and we chose how we're going to break the tie. We're using customer key. So now you can use this to filter, and you're only gonna get 10. You're never gonna get 11. All right, that's enough about top end. You guys asked some
Oh,
amazing questions. Steve,
hey, Avi. Yeah,
yeah.
there's kind of an interesting comment. I think John Milstead had a comment that
Hmm.
could you break the tie by looking back to one period and seeing who was rated higher in that period and give them that's the tiebreaker.
Yes, that's a good one, and I think that's easily doable. But although one part of me saying is that that is not guaranteed. Like customer key is guaranteed to be different. So if you break the tie using previous year, you would have to think, pause, like what if the previous year was same? And again, in realistic data set, that's extremely rare, but it's theoretically possible. So you might have to do one more. It's like, oh, if the previous year was also the same. So yeah, so I think the previous year should be pretty easy. Let's go back there. And of course, you can do the same in this setup when you're trying to show top 10. It's easier to do in top n measure over here. So here you can say sales top 10, and in sales descending, and instead of customer sales customer key, you can say something like sales prior year. So that should be real easy. Oh, I already have that one. Great. um, let's try it. Let's see how well, I don't think this is gonna be any, this is not gonna look different. So but yeah, top n, you can definitely do that. mm, and the same thing here. For we can do sales, let's do sales v3. So we'll say sales v3, and you can say sales plus sales prior year. And again, we only want to make like a really small impact. We don't want to give them like $1 million in sales so that their actual ranking changes. We're only kind of breaking ties, so we divide that by some number. And I guess this is not that bad. I mean, and you can leave the customer key in there, and you would have to divide this by so make this customer key even smaller so that it doesn't interfere with the prior year, right? So it's yeah, it's, if you put it in Excel, it will probably make a lot more sense. So you can do it that way. Now let's see how. Let's do customer rank v3. Oh, that's gonna be interesting to see. And again, this is adventure work, so I have no idea what we're gonna see. So if we say v3 and we use the new measure, which is using prior year as a tiebreaker. And v3, customer rank v3. Uh, oh, dang it, yeah, it's not any different, but oh gosh, of course, somehow sales prior year is blank. Let's change the, why? Why is it blank? In February. Well, adventure works. What can I say? But yeah, the approach holds. I think. Yeah, you just add that thing. So that one is pretty good. Good question, John. Like that. Highest is last month with break tie. All right, let's see. Uh, so we have Steve and Yeti on the phone. Yeti, what did you think? Do you have any questions around what we showed or anything else? Okay. How about folks on YouTube? I am tempted to dive in here if you would like me to, or if there are other questions, I would love to hear from you guys. So oh gosh, I forgot who asked the 80/20. 80/20. Marcel. 80/20 analysis. I'm not sure. Feels like I may have done it at some point of time, but uh, 80/20. How would I know how many customers contributed 80% of my volume? Percentile. I'll noodle on that. I think that's heavy enough that you don't want to see me floundering around. Not that I mind doing that, but it's just not be very entertaining to watch. Um, how about the top three and show the rest of the data in others category? That one seems really intriguing. Top three, show the rest of the data in others category. What are your guys' thoughts on this? How can we do this? We want to show top three and others. How would we do this? Come on, give me some ideas. So in our case, in this case, we want to show. So right now, this top 10 table, the total. This is not. Is it the top 10? It is the top 10. Yeah, it's. I was looking at February. That's why I got confused. So the total sales in February were 847,000, and the top 10. Well, this one was 25,000, right? So what we're saying is we want to show the top three, and then we want to just bucket everybody else in others. How would you do that? Okay, I'm gonna think out loud. Um, so, oh boy, I feel like there is an option in visuals somewhere here. Let's try that one first. So I'll just duplicate this one. It'll be top three and others. So full name, let's try customer. Yeah, so Marcel is saying two visuals. It's a little clunky, but would work. Yeah, so you have two visuals, one top three, one the other. Even there, it's going to be interesting to see how you. So let's do kind of V1. So I like minimum viable product. Like let's just put something out there. So here we'll say customer rank. Which one am I looking? Oh, sorry, wrong one. This is not the file I'm working on. I was working on, I think, this guy. Yes, this is our sales V2, sales V3. Okay, so let's go over here. And folks, I apologize. This thing is not right. The Talk Power BI file, you have to join the Talk Power BI Insiders Club at talkpowerbi.com. We just keep it interesting for you. So top in. So we'll say top three and others. Let's solve it using two visuals first. And for now, we're just gonna kind of ignore uh, the the uh, the ties thing. So we have all of that, and we say customer key, give me top three. So great, customer, yeah, perfect. So this is working. And now I want to see other. So the title is off. I'm gonna fix the title. Top three. And there's no option here to say, oops, gosh, please. Like the, like there's no option to say show me the rest. You can show like bottom three, but or bottom nine. I mean, you're not gonna know. So you can't solve the other problem using this filter. It's just not possible. So we're gonna solve it using rank. So we're gonna go to rank, and we do have the ties thing here. Let's ignore ties for now. So I'm gonna look at March maybe. Oh well, all years great. So we have one, two, three, and now I can say show me where rank is greater than 3. Now this is where you have to be careful of ties. You have to be mindful of ties, because again, if there are ties, it might behave in an odd way. It might say 1, 1, 3 or something like that. So, but again, we're ignoring ties for now. So as customer rank is greater than 3, and I have both filters, the top 3 as well. So I'm going to remove that, get rid of that one, and now it's showing me everybody beyond the 3rd rank. Now, of course, I don't really need to see the rank. I just need to have that number as other. So I don't really need to see the rank. I don't need to see these details. I mean, these are hundreds of customers. So what I'm going to do is remove all of this, full name, and even leave customer rank. I'll leave order count, customer count maybe, and I'll change the title. So we'll say other customers using visual filters. Yeah, right. So it's kind of like, yep, this is kind of top 3. This is the total. Oh, this actually didn't work. Wow, why didn't it work? It didn't work because the total is the same. I expected this to be less by $39.95. I'm saying customer rank has to be man, this is not the MVP, the minimum viable product that I was hoping for. I was thinking this is going to be straightforward and easy, and now my filters aren't working. Come on, Barbie I, you can do it. Customer rank is not happy about that. Okay, let's try customer rank again. So customer rank, nope, definitely not happy. What if we add it in the display? Oh, wow. I don't think it's possible in this way, because if you don't add the customer name, it doesn't quite work. It just didn't work. Or maybe Power BI I broke Power BI. Customer. Let's try. What if you add full name? So now we have customer rank 2016. All sorts of trouble. Hey, I'm not having much fun here, so I'm gonna abandon it. I mean, I'm sure you can kind of make it work, but already it seems it's kind of hokey. So how else can you do top 3 and others? Ooh, Marcel has an idea. Wait, yeah, that's the one we were working on. So one approach could be you could do this in the query editor. Right, so we'll say 2 visuals, top 3. This is visual 1 and others visual 2, although we didn't have much luck here. The other thing that we can do is we can solve this in the query editor, but the challenge would be that it would not be dynamic. That's usually the problem if you solve anything in the query editor. Let's kind of go ahead and do that, just so we kind of get the feel of it. Let's see. I better save this file. Again, I'm not recommending this, but a lot of you might be tempted to do this. So let's go to customer, and in this case, I think I already have the sales number in there. Now, of course, when I said it cannot be dynamic, so it cannot be dynamic by, oh, I'm looking at top 3 customers in 2018 January. You have to pick. And in this case, I think I had picked like lifetime sales. Lifetime sales. Maybe we would pick 2018 January sales. Man, we're making. Well, let's go with lifetime sales. How about that? So we already have lifetime sales, and then we say, yep. So give this to me, and then I would say, give me top 3, and I'll say, I have my customers, I have their sales. How can I keep rows, top rows? Let me just sort it by this. Come on. And I'll say keep top 3. Oh, of course we have ties. Yeah, no fun. Maybe this can still work. So we have this customer top sales. We keep this one, and then we reference this twice. One for top 3, one for other. So we'll say top sales, top 3. And by the way, folks, sometimes I'm showing something in detail and I'm not able to zoom in. Make sure you set the video setting on your end to be like a higher setting. I don't know, 720, 1080, something like that. So now we go to the first one, and here we're gonna say I only want to keep the top 3 rows. So I'll say keep top 3 rows. And then I'll go to the next one and I'll say remove the top 3 rows. This is interesting because this guy, it breaks the ties for you. I'm actually not sure what criteria it's using. Maybe it's using like source data or something. But obviously, when I said top 3, it didn't do like, oh, there's a tie. It only gave me 3. So that's good. So here we'll say remove the top 3. Oops, what happened here? Oh, sorry, I used the wrong source. I meant to use the main one. So we go back over here. Come on. Okay, so now we're back to the full one, and here we're going to say remove the top 3. And of course, we don't really need all the detail. So what I'm going to do is, oh, I know. We're going to say group by, and I'm just going to sum up their sales. Group by advanced. I don't really need that. I just need the sum of the sales amount. Customer sales, great. Total sales sum this, great. And I'll do the same thing here, but I'll just say give me the name. Oh, this is embarrassing. Customer key, maybe full name, and customer sales. Remove all the columns. And here I'll add a dummy customer column. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of bad of spending all this time on this, because this is definitely not what I would recommend, and you're probably seeing the reason why, because it's so hard coded. It gives you, so I always talk about build a model, not a report. So when you're building a report, this is the kind of stuff you're doing, where you're solving a lot of things in query editor and you're kind of hard coding it, and it would only give you one result. But anyway, so if any, the customer key for this one, let's make it 0. And we'll do full name. is other. Full name is other. All right, it looks like Alex has an idea about the 80/20. Now I want to join these tables, append them actually. Customer key, full name, customer sales. I think they have customer key, full name, total sales. Let's put it over there. What is this is called customer sales. Let me just go back here, group pros and total sales. I'll just say customer sales. Oops. And okay, so now these two are identical and I can append those two together. So I'm going to go back here, append queries as new. Oh boy, I think I'm going to run out of time. So some of you follow me on my channel know that we got a new dog. She's really cute. We adopted her when she was 6 months old. Now she's been with us about 2 months, so it's really close to dog walking time. I think so. But I'll give you pointers on the solution, the real solution that I have in mind for this top three and other. Top three and other. All right, so you get this, and of course, all of these interim tables, you don't need them. We only use them to build something in Power BI, but we don't need them. So we have the final results, top three and others, and we can load it and show it. But again, this is what I was talking about, where if you solve things not the right way, if you don't build a model, if you build like, oh, I need a report to show top three and other, and if you build it like this, you get a very hard-coded solution. So this is going to show us something, but it's not going to be it's not going to be dynamic. Nobody can say, oh, now show to me for US, show to me for this product line and so forth. So I'll let it run. You've seen the approach, and I'm gonna hint towards the third solution. So how I would do this, I think, is disconnected slicers, and that is one technique, one gift that kind of keeps on giving. Ooh, where am I? Let me bring back in the scene. So disconnected slicers. So I'll create a disconnected slicers which will have these entries in there. It'll say 1, 2. Let's come back here. 3 and others. And this is the key. I mean, sometimes when like, how do I put the word others in there? Well, there has to be some table, something in there which says others. So if you have a disconnect that 1, 2, 3 other, and then you define measures based on selected value in disconnected table. So disconnected slicer, let's say we'll just say rank top 3. Then you will see which one am I trying to show. Am I trying to show the first one, second one, third one, or the other? And based on that, you would show whatever, maybe the customer name. So I want to show the first customer. You would also show whatever the value is. So you would build measures based on that disconnected slicer, and it would be 100% dynamic. It'll be so you can say, yep, now I want to see US and so forth. All right, guys. So I'll call it a day for today. Look out for the upcoming Talk Power BI session. So I will be in India, but I will be going live from there as well. So December 14th, we're hoping to talk about how to become a Power BI consultant. December 21, we're talking about how to get a Power BI job. And this is something that I'm passionate about because I always feel that it's sometimes this other set of skills which really fuel your Power BI success. Believe me, I've seen people who are like really skilled in Power BI and they have different levels of success. Or what really breaks my heart is people who are waiting for somebody else's permission, somebody else's stamp of approval, or they're being their own worst judge and they're saying, oh, I'm not good enough yet. When I do this, this, and this, then I'll be ready to become a Power BI consultant. Then I'll be ready to start looking for a Power BI job. I wouldn't want that for you. That it's if you keep waiting, it's you're gonna keep waiting, right? So it's best to kind of jump in and do it. So I'm gonna be sharing with that with you. We'll see you next time. Until then, power on.